This week on the bonus round, we premiere our new set at GT's headquarters in Los Angeles, and I'm with Shane Satterfield from Sifted Games, GameStop TV's Andrea Rene, and Ovenshire from Smosh. And we're talking about Nintendo, the latest Nintendo Direct, Nintendo's next console, and the company's move into mobile games. Hey guys, welcome to the bonus round here on GT. I am Geoff Keighley, and we are in our brand new bonus round studio here, which looks pretty cool. We are at a desk now. We've got mics. Feels like a podcast, but we are live on a video podcast, I guess. And we got three great guests this week to talk about all things in the gaming industry. A man you know from GameTrailers, Shane Satterfield, just launching a brand new site later this month, Sifted Games.
That's right. Yeah, it's a content curation service with an annual subscription, and we basically deliver you a custom content feed based upon what you tell us you want. So It's like a social network, except we're not telling you what you see. You tell us what you want to see.
You sift through all the content. That's the name. Very cool. Well, good luck with that, Shane.
Thank you.
We will look forward to seeing it go live. We've got a familiar face as well to GameTrailers audiences, also on GameStop TV, Andrea Rene.
Hello.
Looking great today, Andrea Rene. I like the blue.
Thank you. It's my new Captain America dress. I just got it. It's
oh, wow. Oh, that's right. I didn't see the little shield in the middle there. That's right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, great to have you with us,
Thank
Andrea Rene.
you.
And, of course, we have a new entrant to the arena.
Yeah,
I get to fight
people,
Games.
right? Like that's what this is. Like
Exactly.
we're gonna like bring out the wrestling ring, and I get to like tackle Andrea Rene and be like, "Now I'm here."
That's an act two.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Great to have you with us,
Calm
man.
down a little bit, okay?
I like the watch, by the way.
Thank you.
That's like
What's
a watch
kind of
cover.
cool is I'm gonna push the button, and then all of a sudden, boom! That's what time it is.
What kind of watch is that? I've never
It's
seen
a free watch from Loot Crate.
free Loot Crate watch.
But
Good
like,
old Loot Crate.
everyone has like these fancy watches, so when someone sees this, they just
Yeah.
assume that it's a cool watch.
Exactly.
And they're like, okay, yeah, this guy, all right.
Yeah, it almost looks like an iWatch has like one of those iPad covers on it or something.
They just like flips
Anyways.
over and just start.
All right, well, guys, let's get right into our first topic this week. It is Nintendo. This week, Nintendo had their latest Nintendo Direct on April 1st. Over 40 minutes of Nintendo content for the fans. Lots of new Amiibo, some new game announcements, lots of interesting things, even a new Animal Crossing decorating game, it looks like.
Yes, happy home.
So, you know, Nintendo does these Directs a couple times a year. They put together a bunch of news, and what was interesting is the week before, they had Anuma-san announce that Zelda was not going to make it out this year for the Wii U, so they sort of got that bad news, I guess, out of the way in advance of that Direct. Shane, what was your take on Nintendo? And I don't know if you've seen the Direct yet, but the news in there. Do you think was it meaningful to Nintendo fans?
Well, I think it's anything Nintendo says is meaningful to Nintendo fans.
Right.
Was it meaningful to me? Probably not. I think
Right.
the biggest announcement in the Direct to me was the 200cc Mario Kart, which has never existed before.
Yeah.
It always kind of stopped at 150 cc's, and I'm a big Mario Kart fan, so I'm really excited about
They closed the Direct with that. It was big news.
Yeah, I mean, it is big news.
Yeah.
I mean, the series has been around forever. You've never been able to go that fast in a Mario Kart game. I love Mario Kart 8. Like, I played it probably more than any game last year, so I'm really excited about that. But, you know, if you're looking at it from the perspective of, okay, we just gave you really bad news, which is delaying Zelda, and this is supposed to make it better, I don't see that. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Amiibos, honestly. I know they're huge and they sell really well.
Those plushy Amiibos.
It's really cute. Yeah,
See, people who are into it really love it.
No, I think that to me when I see them, it's like, and I haven't purchased any Amiibo, but they look so cute, and as collectors are great. But I think the challenge that they face is like, how are they really going to impact your game? And I saw like when I was watching the Yoshi one, it's like it's cool you can put him on the gamepad, but then you have like a second Yoshi behind you, and I'm like, I don't know if that's.
Here's the thing: like, you don't really need an Amiibo to do something like that. Like, you can just add it to the game. I mean, it's really just a collectible thing, and I get why people want to collect things. People like to get the complete sets of stuff like that. But for me personally, I've kind of just gotten over collecting stuff. I got to this critical mass point where I just had every closet in my house just completely stuffed with video game stuff and promotional stuff, and I've just kind of cut the cord at this point and just said no mas.
We got a lot of free T-shirts over the years.
Oh my gosh!
There's a box.
I think I have like 300 video game T-shirts.
Well, like a decade ago, you would literally get like a free white T-shirt with like every game.
Every
They'd
game,
give it to you with like, and it was usually a white T-shirt with just the logo of the game across front.
Or
Like,
some
not even
ugly
designed.
like puke brown or green.
Exactly,
or
yeah,
something.
and that's like
or
what you would
just
get.
all men's extra larges, which
Exactly.
are
Or like quadruple XL.
You turn them into a dress.
Which is a little
Exactly.
offensive. Yeah, you get like a quad XL. I'm like, what are you trying to say about me? What?
Yeah, the T-shirts. I mean, even now you don't get shipped as many games because I mean, so much are digital download codes. Yeah. But anyways, back to Nintendo. Andrew Rene, you saw the Direct. Nintendo had some big news a couple weeks ago too with the announcement that they're going to get into the mobile space. That wasn't covered in the Direct. But after that was big news, what was your take on what Nintendo announced in the Direct? Did anything appeal to you?
Specifically, yesterday, the thing that I was tweeting about the most on the Direct was of course, the Yarn Yoshi amiibo, which I thought was really cute.
Which color are you gonna get, Andrew?
I have all of them.
Wow,
she has a dedicated shelf already for
No, I don't have any amiibo.
Is the Yarn
I have
Yoshi
not
dress.
bought a single amiibo yet, and I think that might be the one that would do it for me. But I think that there was a lot of fluff in that Direct. I think that there was a lot of things that they're like, hey, these are games that we've already been talking about. Here's more stuff for these games. I mean, we saw, the Smash Brothers DLC as well as the Mario Kart DLC. I mean, we did see, the Cross Project,
which people thought had been
Fire Emblem. I can't even remember the full name of it.
That honestly was, Shin Megami Tensei versus Fire Emblem. Like, a lot of people thought that game was just canceled because they announced it a really long time ago.
Yeah,
and
January 2013, they said?
I mean, that actually may have been the biggest story for Nintendo
it's like, not
fans.
dead yet, still here. Hey, that's us, Nintendo. We're still here. Don't forget about us.
There are always games that you never, I mean, there was that one I remember, I think was it last year before, like Itagaki announced like Devil's Third was something like that.
Oh, it's still coming, actually. If you follow him on Facebook, in fact, you should follow him on Facebook because, he's not great with English, and so sometimes the things that he types are pretty funny. But he swears it's still coming, and it's like.
But they haven't talked about it. Was it E3 last year or the year before?
It was at E3 last year. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like haven't heard anything about it, but he's working on that.
He swears it's still coming.
I'm sure it is, but he said like this stuff disappears for a while. But yeah, I think obviously the news that Zelda's not there. There's not that anchor title for later this year, but there's talk about maybe some mobile games coming. I don't know if it's going to be this year or next year. Jovan, what's your take on Nintendo making games for your iPhone?
Yeah, over on Smosh Games, I'm the only one that's really okay with mobile games because I just realized, all right, it's there, it's not going anywhere, and it makes so much money. You can't blame Nintendo for wanting to do it. Like, is it a AAA title? Like, no, it can't be as complex. But mobile games are fun, and they make so much money. So will I download some Nintendo games? Yes. Like, we're not going to see ports. Like, they said we weren't going to get ports, but at the same time, I think we're going to see like something like Captain Toad's Puzzle something or the other, and then like it's going to be pretty much the same thing just for your iOS or Android. And I'm okay with that. If I get like another Mario platform that I can play while waiting in line at the bank, or more importantly, while I'm in the bathroom, I'm okay with that because it doesn't affect my life and it works out.
Well, and they have so many properties that work well for mobile. I mean, look at Pokemon. Like that's like perfect for mobile.
Absolutely.
And then they have their big Mario Maker game, which is coming. Which when I first saw that, I was like, of course this would be a great mobile game. And,
or make your levels on.
Conveniently delayed until late in the year, I might add. That game was supposed to be coming out like now, and now it's like September to fill that gap that Zelda left. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they delayed, Yoshi's Woolly World too, right? Yeah. Well, that's the theory.
Yeah. Well, right. That's a pretty safe theory.
Like, Nintendo Directs are great. It's kind of like this little mini E3 that Nintendo gets to do a few times a year. And in fact, I'm surprised that like other people don't do it. But I was really surprised that we didn't see more mobile in this because I think
they probably don't have anything ready to show.
Yeah, I mean, that partnership with DeNA was just announced. I mean, I'm sure that they've been working on stuff, beforehand, before the announcement was made. But I think it's going to take a while before Nintendo really has a tentpole mobile thing to show.
It'll be fascinating to see, like, which phones do they show it on? Because it's like, in a Nintendo Direct, are they going to pull out an iPhone and be like, here's this, here's the Mario game? Or, I wonder which games they'll lead with, right?
Think about, though, how popular an Endless Runner Mario game would be.
Yeah.
Or Pokemon. Pokemon is a franchise that really they could just straight port it to a tablet or a mobile phone, and it's just
that's a good point. It's like what kind of Mario game will they make?
Reboot of Yoshi Cookie. Calling it now. Let's do this.
No, I think you're right. Like, out of all those games, like, I think they're smart to not just take, Mario Brothers and put it on an iPhone. Like, it'll be interesting to see, like, what they do with that, what they do with these other franchises.
I mean, look, Nintendo's smart.
Yeah.
I mean, at least with software development, they're smart.
Sometimes
I don't know, with their hardware at this point, if you'd say they're too smart.
No, we should. And they're touchscreen stuff. I mean, look, a lot of their systems have touchscreens.
They've been working on touchscreen technology before everybody else was, really. Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity here. I think the big concern really is, are they going to divert resources away from their DS and console products to develop these mobile games?
If
that's the case, I'm a little on the fence about that happening. How much are they going to let DeNA handle, and how much are they going to...
It sounded like Nintendo... I read an interview with Mr. Iwata in Time, and he seemed to say that Nintendo was going to develop all this stuff, although Miyamoto was going to stay focused on, like, Wii U, 3DS. It sounds like, they're at least going to be involved.
It should be how it starts off for sure, but once they start making billions of dollars on mobile games, maybe they can bring in another party to help continue. But, like... something I've noticed, like I got a little notification on my 3DS. It's like, hey, download Pokemon Shuffle for free. So I did. I was like, all right, cool. It's a puzzle game for Pokemon. I'll love it. And then playing it, I realized, I only get 5 lives every 24 hours, but I can purchase more. I'm like, oh, it's a mobile game on my DS. Mm-hmm. They're already making mobile games.
Well, they had Steel Diver as well. That was like their first free-to-play game where they sort of experimented with the whole model and whatnot.
Yeah. So. And people get mad, like, I don't want to pay more to keep playing. I think it's something that people need to get past. If once you have like 5 mobile games that you like and you can only play so much of it in one day, then you just move over to the next one. I think that people make a big deal about paying to continue more than it needs to be.
Or you can pay for a game like we've all been doing our entire lives. It's like I think that a lot of the free-to-play market has been really unfairly demonized by some really, like there's a couple bad apples, right, that have had really bad monetization schemes that have really screwed players over in a way that's not good, and we can all agree like these are bad. But there's some out there that do it really well. I mean, look at Hearthstone, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the biggest, successes for iPad.
League of Legends, perfect example of free-to-play working.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I think like free-to-play could make sense. I'm sure Nintendo will be smart about how they do it, and as soon as they release, Mario or Zelda for iPhone, I mean, that's going to be right to the top of the charts.
I think everyone's just worried about the term like pay to win.
Right.
Everyone thinks that anytime you have to pay money, that's how you beat the game. That's not the case anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So like
some games still do that, but.
And those are the ones that I feel like need to like step up their game because there's better content coming out that you don't need to pay for and still have a great time with.
I think the big problem for Nintendo is that they've pretty much proven at this point they can't support two platforms. Right. And because third-party support has gone pretty much completely away for both their console business, it's all on them to create compelling content for it, and they just don't have the resources to do it anymore. So spreading themselves even more thin by moving over and working on this mobile stuff, that's probably the biggest concern I have.
Yeah, but don't you think that's why they dropped the seed about NX when they did? Because they realized they're losing that third-party support, that they're losing the new generation console race. Are they announcing now because they want to try to catch up with Xbox One and PS4, or are they trying to get ahead of where Xbox One and PS4 are going to go?
I think they're just so desperate at this point.
I think my interpretation of the NX was to was announced or just to show people that hey, we are still going to keep making hardware. Because I think if they would have done that announcement,
I think you're absolutely right.
Without that, then everyone would be like, oh, they're just in the smartphone business. They're not going to make another console. So I think because they didn't say anything about it, just like that they're making a new hardware. So is that?
I'm pretty sure the mobile's just going to like fund this next console. But here's the thing: I don't think it is the console wars anymore with Nintendo. Like they didn't care back in the Wii, they didn't care with the Wii U. Like they have Nintendo fans like right there. Like they'll put stuff out and people will buy it. But hopefully with this next generation of game or with system that they just realize, all right, lead with a Mario game, lead with a Zelda game, lead with a Donkey Kong game. Like make more of those because that's what's going to make you lots of money.
Right.
And mobile games.
Well, and it'd be interesting to see with this new system, like, is it a traditional kind of console? You attach to your TV. Is it a mobile thing?
Well, Iwata has said on the record, I think at least twice, that it's not going to be like one platform. Because a lot of people are wondering, are they just going to create like this handheld that you bring home and then you dock into a dock and then you play it on your TV? He has said twice that that's not the case.
Yeah.
I'm still not convinced that that's not the case.
There's got to be some kind of twist because they had also that they talked about all that quality of life stuff and that like
what happened to that
thing and vitality sensor. So there's got to be some kind of twist to it because I can't imagine in this day and age, even who knows if it comes out next year or the year after. But I think that you're going to do something that is like Xbox One, PS4 level. I don't know at this point with third parties even.
I don't think they need it. I don't think they need it. Yeah, personally.
Right. Yeah, I mean, well, you think they can get away with just making their own games for that system?
I think so.
I think there's an audience, but the question is that 10 million people or 100 million people, right?
Well, maybe that's why they have the mobile, to make up for that deficit.
No, that's one of the. I'm sure their philosophy is like we can get all these people excited about these characters on mobile, and then have like special things. If you buy this console, then you're going to get deeper experiences with these characters and games. But I don't know.
They're going to make a ton of money on mobile.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I've been saying that forever. Like, I mean, even though they're not porting, which I don't know. I mean, I guess sure, make all original games, but there's like they have this giant backlog of games that they could port and make so much money on. But now in 2015, do you think it's too late for them, or do you think like they're coming in right at the right time?
I personally think it's right at the right time. You're seeing phones getting bigger and better for gameplay, and I think that's the best time for it, because like 2-3 years ago when you had like smaller phones, like you can play a game, but that's the one who's like really like kind of looked at like, oh, like he's got a little mobile game he's playing with. Now it's like, no, I'm holding a controller.
Well, and they're projected to do $30 billion in revenue globally next year, I think. Is the number just for mobile, which is mind-boggling?
Mobile will blow up very quick, and it'll be interesting. But it'll be interesting, like, what are the games? How deep are they? Like, are they going to appeal to core audiences? Or are they going to be more kind of mainstream? Like,
Nintendo's very good at getting the most out of whatever platform it's working on.
Yep.
I mean, and that's probably why it builds its platforms to be so unique, because it knows it's going to get the most out of them. It knows its games are going to sell really well. So I have a lot of faith that they're going to be able to look at mobile games and be able to turn out something that everyone's going to want to play.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting. Like, is it, are they going to focus on iPad versions or iPhone or sort of all these things about like, what?
Yeah.
Now they have to do. I think you can't just do iPhone exclusive, and I say that because I have a Samsung phone. So please don't make it Apple exclusive.
I would imagine. Yeah, I would think they do sort of at least Android and iOS, but Windows Phone. Who knows?
Definitely the Windows Phone.
Well, where do you draw the line, though? You're right.
Right, yeah.
And that's kind of been the conundrum with mobile development all along is, how many platforms do you support? How much money do you have to support all those platforms? What a lot of developers do is they release it on the big two, wait and see how the game does, and then take that money and put it back in to bring it to other platforms. So we'll see how it goes.
We'll see. All right. Well, lots more Nintendo news coming up, I'm sure, at E3 and throughout the year. We will be back next Sunday with an all-new bonus round right here on GT. We'll see you then.